Busch Series Racing on Fox, presented by America Online, is brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light. Caution is out for the third time today at the Rodriguez Brothers Circuit in Mexico City. This is Mara Reyes, who was off at turn number 1 into the gravel trap, and was pushed out back on course. Now, just before the caution came out, here goes Tyler Walker out there, and if you stop in that gravel trap, it's very hard to get going. That's designed to slow and stop the car, but look at the ex-dirt track star wheel it on out of there.
I don't think that's what they were thinking when they put great clips on the car.
No.
He was running in third position when he did that.
But that's some of that good dirt track racing experience paying off.
Comes back on at turn 3, just in front of Kevin Harvick.
He only lost about 4 or 5 positions.
Yeah, normally a guy gets on the brakes and locks it down and it buries it right there.
All right, let's go back to the pit stop of the man who led the first 19 laps of this race, Jorge Getters, coming down at pit road speed.
It's only 35 mile an hour now, the pit road speed is, so it's really slow.
And looking for his pit stall now.
He actually stopped in Martin Truex Jr.'s pit box, the one behind him, so that cost him some time. But again, in his defense, I would have to say, I think I'm pretty confident saying this is the first time he's ever had to do that. There you see his crew chief, Newt Moore, had a car that led the first 25 laps of this race.
I'm sorry, Larry, I can't let him off the hook that easy. They had a big signboard with his car number right out in front of his pit, right where he needed to stop the front bumper. Now, they don't make a lot of pit stops in the Corona Challenge Series here in Mexico, and they only allow 2 people over the wall to service the car. So, yes, this is new to him, but the signboard was there right where he needed to stop.
I'm not so sure that we have no radio transmission to back it up, but I bet when he came on pit road too slow, they started getting on him and telling him to come on down here. But then when he got down there, I think he was a little panicked.
It's a shame because it spoils a fine drive from the start of this race. He qualified on pole and led the first, I said 19, actually he led the first 24 laps before making his pit stop.
Now, speaking of pit stops, we're not seeing a lot of pit stops. Most of these cars you see on pit road, like the McDonald's car, that would be Jason Keller, Ron Hornaday back there, Chris Cook. These are cars that were in the back of the pack, although we do see Carl Edwards in the 60 car. He's back on pit road. And again, these guys, it would be hard for them to make it in one more stop.
Hey.
This is not the lucky dog or the free pass. This is not even funny because here's Matt.
Big congestion, Mike Joy, leaving pit road. The 35 and 59 cars, close call, possibly coming together, but the 60 of Edwards on pit road. They made a track bar adjustment on the first stop. Brad Parrott felt like, take the time now, car. They wanted to put a spring rubber in the right rear, also make an air pressure adjustment. And Darrell, you know, as a driver, you can really help your effort by being easy on that pedal under caution, saving fuel. And that's one thing that Brad Parrott was questioning Carl Edwards. How have you been doing on fuel under this caution?
Yeah, because you shift gears so much. I mean, you can ride around here in second gear, goosing it all the time, cleaning off your tires, and waste a lot of fuel.
And talking it over in Adrian Fernandez pit.
That's Jim Long, crew chief on the 5 car.
And yo, Rennie,
Perfect.
up and over.
Right through the hole in the fence.
Happy ending.
Give that dog a bone.
We're back under green as Martin Truex leads them off turn number 3. Mexico City is also the home of the world's largest bullfighting arena, and this crowd senses their local Matador hero, Adrian Fernandez, looking in from second place, looking for the lead.
I was going to say, we're not even halfway. You talked about the 100,000 people. All of them are standing up right now, wanting him to get the lead in this race.
I don't believe he's got much for Truex right now. I thought he might be able to pounce on him, but Truex is pulling away, and now Shane Neal is all over the back end of Fernandez.
Remember that Fernandez, number 5, is a backup car and not the purpose-built road course car that many folks thought he would easily have won the pole with had he not crashed on his time trial lap. And how about Shane Meal? Here's a guy with no road racing experience. He's come down here, ate the local food, drank the water, had a blast, and he's up there trying to race for the lead.
These people there are waving him on.
He got a run right there. Adrian got off the track. Adrian's going to block him going down here into the chicane.
I tell you, another guy having a great run right behind this group in that 41, that white car, Reed Sorensen. Not only does he not have a lot of road course experience, this is only his 8th Busch Series start, period.
And he may well leave here with the point standing lead.
Let me tell you, that kid right there, he's the next big deal.
One car off, that was the 87 of Fellows, who may have got ridden off the course there at turn 4 or 5, as now they come down the oval straight. To Ron Fellows.
Looks like he's got a run here, and
on Contreras.
Oh, yeah. He almost ran the back of the 64 car there. That's Rusty's car.
All right, that was in turn 1. He skips turn 2, hops back on track, and because he comes back behind Clint Boyer, and because he did not gain position, no penalty for leaving the racing surface.
These road racer guys, like Ron Fellows and Boyce said, they just can get in the turn so much deeper than a round track specialist can.
I like what he did there, Darrell. Rather than challenge and tear up the car in that corner, Resource Management took the car off track at a place where he knew he could easily get back on.
Smart driver. I like Ron Fellows a lot. Really smart. You don't win 24-hour races all over the world without being smart.
Jeff, how about the second place car of Adrian Fernandez?
Mike, right now, crew chief Jim Long is feeling very confident that last caution is going to put him in give him an opportunity to make a pit stop around lap 45. One more stop, and he'll have Adrian where he needs to be. Right now, the car's a little bit tight. He's having a little bit of trouble through the course because of that reason, but he feels like his next air pressure adjustment will be all this hometown boy needs to really give him an opportunity to take this car to victory lane.
Oh, trouble here on the 36 of Stanton Barrett, very slow. You saw 38 Tyler Walker in the Great Clips car off the track briefly.
Look at that mess.
Yeah, this is the eye of the storm, Darrell.
Well, what happens is it just backs up, bottlenecks up. There's Getters up in the middle of that, too.
Yep, 66. Nowhere for him to go. He's right behind McMurray trying to bust his way back through. And Ron Fellows has had trouble again. Let's ride with him right behind the 20 of Denny Hamlin.
He's just trying to miss the man.
Whoa, and he just barely
through.
Spin in front of him again. Turn 1, Calamity Corner.
And then here's what happens there. 36 spins out right in front of him.
Dodge it again.
I bet he's thinking his lucky stars.
Well, the biggest thing that's costing him, and he's now almost 7.5 seconds behind our leader, Martin Truex Jr. in 8th. But now, just to update you on those top 4 cars, Martin Truex Jr., Adrian Fernandez, Shane Mill, and Reed Sorensen. They pitted last time on lap 9. We got a battle for the lead here. Looks like the 5 car, Adrian Fernandez, will take the lead.
Oh, Truex crossover move. But now he's out of position for turn 3. Fernandez is going to exit turn 3 with the lead. And when the crowd sees it on the screen, they are going to erupt.
They want him to come back around and lead this lap.
Only 2 leaders so far today, Jorge Getters and Martin Truex Jr. Truex to the inside.
Boy, Martin is just really aggressive.
You know what's neat, though? This is the 2 teams that battled for the championship last year. The 5 car of Hendrick, Martin Truex Jr., the 8 car owned by Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Teresa Earnhardt. Just remember what I was about to say before we almost had the battle for lead. Those top 4 cars you see right there, they will have to be on pit road in about 12 laps to make this work. And in my book, they've made their bed. They're going to have to lay in it now.
Out of turn 6, here they come down the oval straight into turn 7, and when Fernandez emerges from turn 8 with the lead, these 100,000 Mexican fans will go bananas.
You got a good run off turn 8. Just look at the crowd. From last to first in 33 laps.
Talked to Drew Brown, his PR guy. He said Adrian Fernandez in this city he said he blows Dale Jr., Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, all those guys away.
Paul Menard's had a spin, cut down a right rear tire and damage.
Looks like you already had the damage, and that may have been what cut that tire down. The quarter panel, you can see it all sticking out. The guy that had a great qualifying run, ran up in the top 5 or 6 most of the first part of the race, his troubles will continue. All right, there you see Martin Truex Jr. His pick, remember, we talk about track temperature all the time. Matt, they're trying to see if it's changing any for one more adjustment or one more stop.
Larry Mack, you can feel the wind has picked up, and it is getting cooler down here on pit road. Now, Bono Mannion just cautioned his driver 2 laps ago. You know the 5 is like the head of state here. He's going to try to get out front and lead for the home crowd. Stick to our game plan. Let's save our stuff. We're going to pit around 11 or 12 more laps.
Well, I tell you one thing, Martin didn't give it to him. I mean, he worked him hard.
But just look at that track temperature, 70 degrees. It was 86 degrees when this race started 33 laps ago.
A partisan crowd cheering Adrian Fernandez. And speaking of heads of state, Mexican President Vicente Fox among the spectators here, as is the U.S. Ambassador to Mexico, Antonio Garcia, among the 110,000 fans here.
They rolled out the red carpet. There's no question about that.
Adrian Fernandez leads in the Lowe's Chevrolet in Mexico City.